All right, so you've spent the last, what, 5, 6, 7 years of your life mastering the language of the universe. You've got the PhD in math, physics, computer science. You're brilliant. But now you're looking at Wall Street, and it feels like they're speaking a totally different dialect. You're wondering, how do I get these people to actually listen to me? Well, that's what we're here to do. Let's break it down.
See, this is the whole game, isn't it? You have the raw intellectual horsepower. You know how to model ridiculously complex systems, you can wrestle with massive data sets, and you think in probabilities. That's your superpower. But let's be real, the path from a quiet lab to a loud trading desk, it's not exactly well marked. Think of this as your roadmap. We're going to get into exactly what you need to know, and more importantly, what you absolutely have to prove.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll lay out the quant blueprint, what actually matters on your resume. Then we're jumping right into the big one, the certification debate. After that, we go deep inside the technical gauntlet. Then we'll talk about the real test, what it actually feels like. And finally, we'll put all the pieces together into your final equation for breaking.
Okay, let's start with the blueprint. You know, probably the single biggest mistake I see PhDs make is thinking their degree is a golden ticket. It's not. It's an amazing start, but in this world, your thesis is just proof of concept. You have to understand how these firms actually value what you bring to the table. Now, I want you to pay very close attention to the order here because it's everything. Number one, at the very top, is experience. We're talking internships, any kind of relevant work, anything that shows you can apply that big brain of yours in a messy commercial setting. Your PhD, it's huge, don't get me wrong. It proves you can learn anything, but it comes in second. And third, side projects. Yeah, building a trading bot in your spare time or crushing a Kaggle competition, that shows hunger. That's proof of passion. So that brings us to the big one, the question you're probably wrestling with right now. Should you go out and get a professional certification? Look, this is not a simple yes or no answer. It's a really strategic decision. And honestly, there are some very, very strong opinions on both sides. So you've got two main contenders in the ring. On one side is the CFA. Think of it as the liberal arts degree of finance. It covers the broad language of investing and portfolio management. It's respected, for sure. But man, it is a marathon. We're talking years. On the other side, you've got the CQF. This one is built for people like you. It's a technical deep dive, a crash course in the heavy-duty math, stochastic calculus, machine learning, all the fun stuff. It's way more focused. So why even bother? Here's the brutally honest argument for getting one. Your first enemy isn't a person. It's an algorithm. It's an HR keyword scanner. And if your PhD isn't from what they consider a target school, that CQF on your resume becomes a powerful signal. It screams, hey, I'm serious about this. And it might just be the thing that gets you past the bots and into a human's hand. But then you talk to the people who would actually be your boss, the senior quants, the heads of desks. And a lot of them will tell you this. They'll say, I've never done one. The people I hire haven't done one. Show me what you've built. Show me you can solve a problem. To them, a cool project on your GitHub is worth way more than a certificate on your wall. So here's the bottom line. It's a classic trade-off between signaling and substance. The certification is a signal. It's a flag you wave to get past the first gatekeepers. But your substance, your actual coding projects, your raw ability to solve a hard problem, that's what gets you the job. And every hour and every dollar you spend on the signal is an hour and a dollar you can't spend building your substance. It's a tough call. Okay, certification or no certification, this next part is completely non-negotiable. You cannot escape the technical gauntlet. This is where the talking stops and the doing begins. So let's be crystal clear about what these firms actually mean when they throw around a phrase like mathematical rigor. I really want this to sink in. The elegant, clean, theoretical models you worked with in grad school, that's the starting line. Industry finance is messy. It's chaotic. They're going to ask you to take that beautiful theory and apply it to noisy, high-frequency, real-world data to solve incredibly specific, high-stakes problems. And this right here, this is your basic toolkit. And let me be clear, this is not the advanced section. This is the stuff you are expected to walk in the door with day one. They expect you to be fluent in stochastic calculus, to breathe PDEs, and to dream in time series. And yeah, more and more they want to see you're up on the new stuff like reinforcement learning. This is just the ante to play the game. Want to see what that rigor looks like in practice? Let's talk about something like the HJM model. Okay, so we're not just modeling one little interest rate here. No. We're modeling the entire forward interest rate curve, how it twists and moves through time. Why? Because that's what you need to price incredibly complex derivatives and calculate things like CVA. This is the level of sophistication that's considered normal. Or how about this one? Building a pairs trading strategy. Now, anyone can spot two stocks that kind of move together, but a real quant has to prove it. You have to go in and apply rigorous statistical tests like Ingle-Granger or the augmented Dickey-Fuller to prove mathematically that these two things have a stable long-term relationship. That's how you find a real tradable edge. And you better believe it's not all about the old school models anymore. The real cutting edge is in machine learning. We're talking about using things like random forests to dig into the market's microstructure, the raw order book data, and find tiny predictive signals that classic models would just see as noise. It's about finding an edge where nobody else is looking. So you've got the skills. You've built some cool projects. You're ready. Now comes the main event, the hiring process itself. And honestly, this is where I see so many incredibly bright PhDs just completely stumble because they fundamentally misunderstand what's being tested. If you only remember one thing from this entire explainer, please let it be this. They can teach you finance. They absolutely cannot teach you how to think. They will throw weird, novel, difficult problems at you, brain teasers, probability puzzles, things you've never seen before, just to watch how your mind works. They want to see you struggle, see you reason, and see you find a path forward. And you have to understand just how intense the competition is. Just look at this number. This is from a real recruiter at a top fund. They sent in 500 qualified resumes. The hedge fund agreed to even look at 5 of them. 5 out of 500. That's a 1% chance just to get your foot in the door. That's why proving you can think is everything. So you have to think of it like a funnel with layers of filters. Step 1, get noticed. Your CV has to get past the bots. That's where a signal like a certification might help. Step 2, pass the technical gauntlet. The coding challenges, the phone screens, you have to prove you have the chops. And finally, step 3, you have to prove you can think live, under pressure, in that grueling multi-hour interview. Okay, let's bring it all home. It's time to put these pieces together and reframe how you think about this whole process. It's your final equation. This is it. This is the whole strategy in one sentence. Your PhD is your ticket to the game. It proves you're smart enough to handle anything they throw at you. A certification might be a useful tool to get your resume to the top of the pile, but at the end of the day, when it really matters, the job offer goes to the person who can stand at a whiteboard and solve a hard problem they have never, ever seen before. That is the skill. So, I'm going to leave you with this question. I want you to really think about it. Stop thinking about just listing skills on a resume. Instead, think about one single knockout project. What is something you can build from scratch that not only uses these advanced tools, but more importantly shows off your unique, creative way of solving a problem? Figuring that out, that is your real first step into this new world.